The Royal Exchange in the City of London was founded in the 16th century in 1565 by the merchant Sir Thomas Gresham to act as a centre of commerce for the city. The site was provided by the City of London Corporation and the Worshipful Company of Mercers, who still jointly own the freehold interest of this landmark. It was London's first purpose-built centre for trading stocks and was modelled on the Bourse in Antwerp, the world's oldest financial exchange, where Thomas Gresham had been based as a royal agent. So, who was Thomas Gresham? Known as the father of English banking, Sir Thomas Gresham the Elder was born in 1519 and was an English merchant and financier who acted on behalf of King Edward V and Edward's half-sisters, Queens Mary I and Elizabeth I. He was born in London and descended from an old Norfolk family. He was the son of Sir Richard Gresham, a leading merchant mercer and Lord Mayor of London, who was knighted by King Henry VIII for negotiating favourable loans with foreign merchants. Gresham was educated at St Paul's School in the city. Following this, he attended the University of Cambridge and was concurrently apprenticed in the Mercers Company. In 1543, the Mercers Company admitted Gresham as a liveryman, and later that year he left England for the Low Countries, basing himself in Antwerp, where he worked as a merchant whilst acting in various matters as agent for King Henry VIII. In 1551, following some financial mismanagement by the government, Gresham was called upon for his advice and, through some methods that he thought up that would have been seen as somewhat questionable by today's standards, raised the value of the pound on the Antwerp Bourse and subsequently rescued the pound, for which he was rewarded in various ways by King Edward V. On the accession of Queen Mary in 1553, Gresham was replaced as advisor by Alderman William Dauncey. However, Dauncey's financial operations proved unsuccessful and Gresham was soon reinstated. He professed his desire to serve the Queen and manifest great adroitness both in negotiating loans and in smuggling money, arms and foreign goods. Not only were his services retained throughout her reign from 1553 to 1558, but besides his salary of 20 shillings per year, he received grants of church lands to the yearly value of £200. Under Queen Elizabeth's reign of 1558 to 1603, besides continuing in his post as financial agent of the Crown, Gresham acted as ambassador plenipotentiary to the court of Duchess Margaret of Parma, governor of the Netherlands, and was appointed a Knight Bachelor in 1559 prior to his departure. The unsettled times preceding the Dutch revolt compelled him to leave Antwerp on the 10th of March 1567. And though he spent the remainder of his life in London, he continued his business as merchant and government financial agent in much the same way as he had always done. His enterprises in England and Europe made him one of the richest men of his generation in England. Gresham died suddenly in November 1579 and was buried at St Helen's Church in Bishopsgate in the City of London. Thomas Gresham left a lasting legacy, and over 400 years after his death, we can still clearly see reminders of the formidable man's life. Gresham, for instance, bequeathed the bulk of his property to his widow and her heirs, with the stipulation that, after her death, the rents from his various properties be invested in the creation of a college. In 1597, Gresham College, the first institution of higher learning in London, came to be established. Today, it hosts over 140 free public lectures every year. The Gresham Club in the city was named in his honour, and both Gresham Road, near where he lived in Hounslow, and Gresham Street in the city are named after him. His legacy is witnessed internationally too. The Gresham Palace, now a Four Seasons hotel in Budapest, is named after him, and the Gresham family crest, which displays a grasshopper, is borrowed by the Faneuil Hall in Boston in the US. The Gresham Hotel in Dublin is named indirectly after him. It was established in 1817 by another Thomas Gresham, who was given that name as he was found as a baby abandoned on the steps of the Royal Exchange. It is the Royal Exchange that is possibly the most visible piece of Thomas Gresham's legacy today. The Royal Exchange has frontages to Cornhill and Threadneedle Street and stands dominantly over Bank Junction. In 1565, Gresham had made a proposal to the City of London's Court of Aldermen to build, at his own expense, a bourse or exchange, what became the Royal Exchange modelled on the Antwerp Bourse, on condition that the corporation provided for this purpose a suitable location. In this proposal, he also secured the yearly rental of £700 from the shops in the upper parts of the building. The Royal Exchange has a deep and colourful timeline. In 1666, the original Royal Exchange was destroyed, along with 1/3 of the city, in the Great Fire of London. A second site opened in 1669, designed in a Baroque style by city surveyor Edward German. This second Royal Exchange thrived with merchants and brokers. In 1838, in a dramatic twist, the Royal Exchange was again destroyed by fire, most likely caused by an overheated stove in Lloyd's Coffee House on nearby Lombard Street. Incidentally, the institution that was named after the aforementioned coffee house, Lloyd's of London, became a long-term tenant at the property. The property was actually occupied by the Lloyd's of London insurance market for nearly 150 years, between 1774 and 1928, when usable. Lloyd's had slowly evolved into a more formal society, and in 1774 the subscribers to Lloyd's moved into the Royal Exchange. When the building was destroyed by fire in 1838, they moved to South Sea House before returning to the rebuilt Royal Exchange in 1844. In 1928, Lloyd's moved out and into the first building it had ever owned, at 12 Leadenhall Street. As business expanded, the market moved to a second new building in Lime Street in 1958, the first of the Lime Street buildings it would occupy. The third and current Royal Exchange was built as a result of an architectural competition. The winner, Sir William Tite, reverted to the original layout of the building but included an imposing 8-column entrance inspired by the Pantheon in Rome. The building was officially opened by Queen Victoria in 1844. In 2001, the Grade 1 listed building was extensively remodelled by architects Orkett Fitzroy Robinson and transformed into a luxury shopping and dining destination. Though an entirely different building from his original design, the modern-day Royal Exchange pays homage to its founder with its gilded copper grasshopper weather vane, the symbol taken from the Gresham family crest. The Royal Exchange has deep links with trading, retail and the insurance market, but also with news and the media. Traditionally, the steps of the Royal Exchange are the place where certain royal proclamations, such as the dissolution of Parliament, have been read out by either a herald or a crier. Following the death or abdication of a monarch and the confirmation of the next monarch's accession to the throne by the Accession Council, the Royal Exchange building is one of the locations where a herald proclaims the new monarch's reign to the public. Another notable tenant of the Royal Exchange was Paul Julius Reuter, who later established the Reuters news agency at No. 1 Royal Exchange Buildings, which is opposite and to the east of the Royal Exchange, in 1851. That news agency later moved to Fleet Street. Today, businesses from a wide range of sectors can occupy office space at the Royal Exchange. Aptly named office provider Landmark, that was founded in the year 2000, provides a range of workspace options, including private offices, collaborative spaces, and meeting rooms. And on Gresham Street, which was named in 1845, office space provider the Argyll Club, that was founded in 1998, provides flexible office spaces for companies needing space for between 2 and 50 desks. Occupiers here will be neighbours of modern-day business icons such as Eversheds, ING Bank and Investec. Both of these properties, with links to Thomas Gresham, can be viewed on the link in the podcast notes. Thomas Gresham's legacy can today be directly experienced through the buildings that have been modernised to provide office space for the businesses of the modern world. Gresham had commercial property interests in the city and was a pioneer in many areas, but he could never have imagined the areas that modern businesses operate in or the business technology used. Although he may have possibly imagined the arrangement of several companies operating within one office, like they do within the serviced offices in the Royal Exchange today, those on Gresham Street and throughout London. A format not dissimilar to that used by the Royal Exchange's most loyal tenant, Lloyd's of London.